you a very simple example from a health perspective. Now, if you look at any healthcare product or service, the core objective is always to improve the health, the health outcomes. Now, look at it from, look at what are the different stages through which the product or service has to go. You need to create health and disease awareness. Then you need, what you call create awareness among healthcare professionals. You need to create symptom awareness. Then you have a whole ecosystem of hospitals and clinics. Then you need to have medicines which can be preventive or curative. You need to understand the treatment and the usage guidelines. Treatment coverage, insurance parties, healthcare professional and patient support systems. So there's a whole lot of activities. Now let's get into a little practical application of this. Now let's take a hypothetical diabetes care product and the monitoring device. India is known to be the diabetes capital of the world. So let's look at it from a healthcare product, which I think, with IoT coming in, with small devices coming in and pairing it with a mobile phone, it's becoming a very, very big market. So let's look at what are all the activities, and we will look at it from one of the major points. Like Google is also getting into healthcare. Even specialist healthcare companies are also there in healthcare. So how do you compete with the Google? That's what we are going to see. So, but if you look at it from a diabetes care product, so there are multiple stages which a customer has to go through. Like, he has to be made aware of a trigger or a need. The screening has to happen, the diagnosis has to happen, the consulting has to happen. The product recommendation has to happen, product usage has to happen, usage and monitoring tracking, usage feedback, corrective action, support ecosystem, disposal and upgrade. So there are multiple steps. So as I told earlier in my slide, customers want multiple jobs, or these are multiple jobs which to be done in a single platform. Now, and let's look at it from a diabetes product perspective. A big company, like say for example, a Sanofi or someone, will actually try and target all these activities because they have the resources. They want to wire up all these activities into a single platform. That is what a market leader who has established distribution, who has got a large capital resource will try to do. Versus if you are a small player, what you should try to do is try and target any one activity which the customer which the customer deems to be very, very important, which the large player is not able to do it very correctly. So this is what the conclusion here is. So one of the points which I told earlier was you need to have a platform which tries and brings the multiple job together. But if you're a small player also, you can survive in that market by targeting any particular node in the activity which is very important to the customer. Like large firms, when large firms will try and consolidate, startups should try and decouple any of these activities which they can do very, very well, which the large player is not able to do it. And one of the things a startup can fight against the larger is pick up any one activity and do it extremely well. And by doing that, you create multiple advantages. One is, a guy who is a large player who is focusing on multiple activities will never be able to bring the kind of attention and detail into that activity. And the second is, if you do that activity very well, I think the large player will be looking out for a buyout because he wants to wire up the whole system. So this is one of the sub points which I wanted to deep dive into.